Hello everybody and welcome back. This is the Mad Salvi coming to you specifically with a bit of Asmongold in this situation. He's talking about Armored Core 6. Let's look at his beautiful self talk about this game and let's see if we agree or disagree. I will be 100% on you with this.
Hey guys, it's about 7:38 in the morning and I figured I'd record a video.
Well, he did a morning video, so that's good.
Today, I want to talk to you all.
He woke up earlier than I did.
7:30 or 8 in the morning. Which today, the reason for that is Armored Core 6.
Is it enough for you to wake up in the morning for Armored Core 6? I guess it is.
In general, how I feel about it. Now, obviously, I played through the campaign one time. I have played a good amount of PvP.
Well, I haven't played PvP at all, so I'm taking a look and seeing what he thinks about it.
I have not gone through the New Game plus true ending yet. So
oh, there's a true ending. Oh, fuck this. I'm fucked.
So, because the truth is that I think Armored Core 6 is a fucking incredible game.
Oh, that's good.
An insane game.
I agree. I tend to agree.
I mean, like I knew it was from software, right? I'm a bit of a simp, okay? I'll admit it. And you know.
Only recently did I become a simp for From Software. Elden Ring really brought me into the From Software whole debacle thing. It really got me into it.
Thought it was gonna be a good game, but I had no idea it was gonna be this good.
And I would agree. So far, you know, there are bosses. Yes, there are definitely bosses that I don't like. The damn snipers are one of them. Oh god, I had so much issue with the snipers. Fucking snipers, I hated them.
I haven't played a mech game since, and I thought about this, MechWarrior 2049 on the Super Nintendo.
Now, me was MechWarrior 2.
1,000 years ago. And
like a full-on finishing the game MechWarrior 2.
It's been
MechWarrior 4, actually. MechWarrior 4.
All the other mech games
no lies.
Out on in the last 15 years. The old Armored Core games, the other mech games, I think Titanfall was one of them, and a handful of other ones.
Oh, wait, yeah. No, I've played mech... No, you know what? I'm lying. Titanfall was a game that I did play. I did play Titanfall. I was just thinking mech, like the mech mercenary style game. Like this one is MechWarrior fits it more. But no, yes, I have played Titanfall. And Titanfall 2. I played Titanfall 2 as well. The campaign, at least.
Now, I think that a lot of you guys have probably seen the Sea Spider incident, and that was a bad time, but we're not really going to talk about that.
Well, the Sea Spider incident, for all you who don't know, I think it took him 5 hours to beat the Sea Spider. Which is, look, I respect that. Because not every boss is going to be great. Like the boss that I had, it took me an hour to beat. The one that was down in the coral range areas, where you have the snipers that are attacking you, 3 different snipers, and that one with the specific, it wasn't even an actual boss, it was like a mini boss. The one with the shield. That one, people passed it in like 15 minutes, and it took me over an hour, so I cannot complain.
Side of that boss, I really had a great time playing this game, although that boss was very much a bad time. So anyway,
the Sea Coral, I beat him pretty quickly. I think I beat him in like 15 minutes.
The campaign is definitely kind of disconnected. It's hard to follow, especially for like a new player trying to take everything in, because you're a mercenary, you're taking on the identity of somebody else, and you're building up your effectively reputation with a number of different factions and different corporations.
That is very true. I mean, it is disjointed for the purpose of being disjointed, because you, as well as the person that you're playing, you are picking up bits and pieces here. You are not privy to all the information that the corpos have. You're not privy to all the information that the governments have. You're just a dude who's being paid to do shit around there. And you're piloting your mech, you're trying to get your reputation up, and you're trying to freaking make yourself the go-to man for everything. So you're not going to get all the information, period.
To establish yourself as somebody who's reliable, trustworthy, and worth giving your money to if you want to have something done. But the second half of the story is where all of those plot lines start to kind of converge.
Oh, I haven't got to that part yet.
Really actually mesh together, and
that's like around chapter 4 or 5.
You did at the beginning, and all the missions you did at the beginning. Now, I think that one of the biggest conversations about Armored Core is, of course, Elden Ring, right? People are comparing it to Elden Ring. They're saying, well,
it's Soulsborne mech game, yes.
Well, it's a better mech game than Elden Ring is. I'll tell you that. I mean, I think people are going to be playing Elden Ring in like 10 years, right? They're going to be playing Armored Core 6 in 10 years. I'm not sure, right? Depends on if they make Armored Core 7. I hope they do. But the truth is that I think obviously, you know, Armored Core is a mech game. It's such a massive niche, right? Like,
it is its own niche. Yes, definitely.
Audience, you're going for mainly nerds, people that, you know, love.
It is a lot less likely to stand the test of time than something like Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is very Soulsborne, and the Soulsborne games definitely last a lot longer. Even though it's a niche in and of itself, it seems to be easier to be played by others, and it seems to be played by others a lot more.
Games, and You know, like that is a very narrow audience of people. So I think that, you know, any reasonable person should go into, you know, like a conversation about this and the way that they look about it.
Absolutely.
Armored Core 6 is
absolutely.
This is not meant to hit the widest audience like Elden Ring.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree.
It's meant to hit the widest audience. I think Armored
I
Core
definitely
6
agree with
has
that.
a much more narrow appeal. I think that the closest thing that I could compare Armored Core 6 with would be also Sekiro. I never really knew how to pronounce it, but Sekiro. And
Sekiro is definitely a game I will not play.
Very, very narrow game. Like,
that's just too much. It pisses me off.
Compared to something like Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3, obviously compared to other games, there's plenty of things, but that's probably not the standard you want to go off of. The truth is that Sekiro is an extremely narrow game, but I would actually classify Sekiro as a perfect game, and I think that it's very hard.
A lot of people say that too.
Armored Core 6 in the same exact way, and the reason why is that I think that like I just had a great time playing the game, and I am like the most important thing to me about games is not graphics, it's not the story, it's not the menus, it's not anything else, right?
It's the gameplay, goddammit.
Sometimes that's part of it. The main thing that I care about is gameplay, and gameplay is king in Armored Core 6. That is what it's all about. Like, using melee weapons just feels so fucking good.
And the thing is, you have to get good in order to get to where you need to go. Really, I'm struggling with getting good on this one, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Bosses feels so good. Like, just playing the game in general feels so good. And I think that this is probably going to be like a very big tangent that I'm going to go off on, is PvP. I really, really, really have to talk about PvP in this game, because I think
this is something I can't really say anything about.
Is the best PvP experience From Software has ever delivered.
Oh, interesting.
It's amazing. And I think it makes sense why. It's because you don't have to worry about iframe netcode. So you can't really, it's not like
okay.
iframe a fucking missile whenever you're a tank, okay? So this is clearly not going to happen. So a lot of the problems...
That's true. That is very true. It does not have iframes. There are no iframes in there. You get hit, you get hit. If you are boosting and you get hit, you're gonna get damage. It's not gonna be like, oh, you dodged, so you get a little bit of an iframe there. No, you don't get that in Armored Core.
Because it's designed completely differently as a game. So whenever I do PvP matches in Armored Core, I never have these like weird lag spikes. I never have like these weird, oh, I thought I hit him but I didn't. I am actually
there is no rollback netcode. No rollback netcode. Yes. Okay. Good. Good.
And how good the latency is on Armored Core PvP online. And I actually went through, like, after I beat the campaign, I went through and I played, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 hours of PvP just playing against my viewers.
Oh, good. Nice. Hey, that's what you do. I mean, when you have a lot of viewers, you do that.
I should do like an Armored Core tournament.
Definitely.
Like this, right? Because I just really like this gameplay. I think it's so fucking cool, right? And so, and I think one of the best things about it too is that, obviously, people do have like their idea of what they think is meta, but it seems like a lot of people have different ideas on what they think is the best thing in the game. And I think that's
some people go heavy, some people go light, some people go like me, kind of in the middle.
Exactly how to play the game, so it makes the PvP even that much more enticing and that much more fun. But I think the PvP in Armored Core 6 is actually probably really one of the best things about it. Obviously,
I did not know that.
Something like Valorant or League of Legends, but I think that if you enjoy mech PvP, I can't imagine you not being able to enjoy Armored Core 6 PvP. Maybe, what do I know, right? But that's certainly how I feel. So the PvP in the game is absolutely phenomenal.
I'm glad that FromSoft did put PvP in there.
I like, obviously, that they added the Moonlight Greatsword and, all the other, usual stuff that you could pretty much expect in a mech game. I have yet to try every single weapon. I've tried maybe like, maybe 20 of them or so.
I haven't even tried 20 of them. I've probably tried like 2 or 3.
I also like how in this
maybe 4.
From Software has done this really since Dark Souls 2, is that there is a lot of additional content that you get whenever you do New Game Plus in Armored Core 6. You get
that I'm gonna have to go into New Game Plus. Fuck. I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
Really special and really cool, because I know that a lot of people had criticism of the story and just the fact that it wasn't like a persistent world and you're effectively navigating a menu to go into levels and then play through the levels, and that is just not going to appeal to some people in the same way. Well,
I mean, it is military style, so it's very sortie based.
I think that just because it doesn't appeal to those people in that same way doesn't necessarily make it an inferior product.
And that's also based on like what MechWarrior used to be. MechWarrior used to be that fully. Of course, MechWarrior had a bit more fleshed out story, but yes, you had different missions that you went to. Your sortie, you went back to that sortie, it was going to be the exact same thing again and again and again. That's what the mech games do that a lot of people don't like, and that's probably one of the reasons why the mech games won't be one of those tests of times that like 20 years later, Elden Ring's going to be able to be played. But this one, maybe not so much. This game specifically, Armored Core, maybe not so much.
It just makes it a much more narrow and a much more focused product, and I think that's really what Armored Core is. It's extremely focused on being what it is, and I think that's why it's so good. It's not trying to be, the Dark Souls of
no, that's true.
Like that.
They're making it its own unique thing. That's absolutely true.
For the most part, no, it's actually its own game, and it's astonishing to me how good actually it was. I think the bosses overall were really great. Now, obviously, I had the last boss, Air, I think that's her name, the fire one that teleports behind you.
Oh shit! Okay, a little bit of spoilers ahead. Holy shit!
They were a lot harder than what I would have expected. I was expecting just fighting like big target dummies that would take a lot of damage, but they were actually really interesting. And
I did like that. I did like that. The mech fights were difficult. It kind of felt like they had their own AI that was smart.
And I hope that they add more of them. And I think that if they don't, it doesn't really matter because you can just do them yourself in PvP. So
yeah, that's what I did like about the bosses. They changed. Like I would fight a boss, and it would do one thing the first time, then it would do it again. They would different things, different times. It would decide to attack me if it had a sword. It would attack me closer. It would go further away sometimes. It would decide to just spin by me and just smack me with its full body armor, just hit me, and then just pass by and I hit me with the sword. It'd be very different. There'd be some times where within a couple of seconds, within like 30, 40 seconds of the match starting, I'd be dead. And there are other ones where I'm like 4 or 5 minutes in, and I'm knocking him down, almost getting him to die, and they die, and I die. So that's what I like. I like that.
I'm really happy with the game, and I know, of course, obviously a lot of people, people, I think there's a big difference, right, with like Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne to an extent, especially Elden Ring, where in those games, and Demon's Souls is the same thing, in those games you can just completely out-level something, right? If you're having trouble with Margit, you can just go and get like a somber 10.
That is true. You can level up to a motherfucker.
5 hits, it's not even a big deal. And I think Armored Core, again, like Sekiro, is not like that. You don't have levels in the game.
No,
now,
not so much.
You get weapons that are extremely powerful and borderline OP. I was reminded of that every mission I did. But the truth is that you can't massively over-level the game.
If you are bad at this game, you're going to be bad.
In the same way that you can with Elden Ring and Dark Souls. And that's the same thing.
That's very true. If you are bad at this type of game, no matter what type of weapons you have, maybe you can brute force yourself through a lot of bosses, but not all of them. There are going to be bosses out there where you will not be able to brute force your way through it. You will be like halfway through brute forcing, and he will do something. He will be so very mobile. He will be so very out there. Something will go on where he will just destroy you. You need to actually get good at this game. Which is bad for me.
Prayer beads, you can maybe get an upgrade here or there, but for the most part, you're pretty much going to be going in with the same tools and the same resources everybody else is. Now, I think that's what makes the game such a great shared experience, is because whenever you say, "Oh, I beat this boss," people know what that means because it means the same thing for every person.
That is good. That's true. That's true. Makes a community. Helps a community grow.
Because they don't have a difficulty slider or anything like that, unless you want to consider using a big two-inch weapon one. That is slider. But the truth is that no, they do not. And so I think that creates excitement, right? Whenever you're watching somebody else play the game and you're like, well, I wonder how they're going to do it because this is how I did it. And it's not like people are going to have a considerably easier time, or even if they do, it's because of the choices they made, not because they are massively overpowered for the fight.
True. Or maybe they're just good at those types of games. I've noticed there are some people that are just damn good at those games.
There are a lot of people that got to Balteus, and they had a bad time. Some people actually got to the helicopter at the beginning of the game, and they had a very bad time. I watched a number of 1 hour plus helicopter attempts from different streamers, and man, I don't know how you do that. But the truth is that, a lot of people play, it might be one of their first games they played like that. And even I took a couple of attempts on the helicopter, right? I'm pretty slow at learning new games, and so it's not really a surprise, but I did feel like kind of an idiot. But
yeah, I even put a how not to play the helicopter thing. Like for the 3 minute video that I did, that I cut it down from about 20 to 25 minutes. I think it was a 20-minute run for the helicopter. It was like 4 or 5 deaths that I did, and then I figured out how to do the helicopter, because I'm kind of slow, and I'm kind of not good at that stuff, so it took me a bit to actually learn what the hell I was supposed to be doing. But it worked, and once it worked, it's like fucking holy crap, you feel so successful.
I think that really once you actually start trying to play it in the way that it's kind of like meant to be played, or at least building a character to play it the way that you want to play.
That's true.
I think that's
you kind of have to do that.
Be able to actually enjoy yourself playing the game. So I know that there's a lot of people out there who might be frustrated about that game, or they might have negative things to say about it. I think that honestly, and I really like this is, I fucking hated that I had to do this. I changed my build. I did. And I'm ashamed to say that. But
well, he shouldn't be, because that's the whole point of mech games. It's okay, yes, you can go through one build throughout the whole game, and that is your own struggle. That is your own difficulty spike, because there are going to be some that are so mobile and so like quick to move around that your slower and heavier build, if you decide to go that route, will be extremely difficult. Will make the whole thing 10 times harder than it normally would be for someone who, let's say, has an agility build. Someone who has switched things around. Sometimes the weapon that you really, really, really want to go through is just not the best weapon to do it with. And that's the thing with the mech games. That is not the same with like Elden Ring or whatever. When you want to do, like, let's say you want to do a mage build, you want to do a brawler build, you want to do whatever it is. This one, a lot of times you do have to change it if you want to make it smooth. Now, if you want to spend 5 hours on a boss because you didn't want to change up what you were using, then you could do that too. It allows you to do that, which is good because it allows different options. I love that.
I did. I changed my build, and I killed the boss completely effortlessly the next time. It was like nothing. And so just try to find the key that goes in the right lock.
That's the thing.
And then I think you'll probably find the game a little bit more satisfying and fun to play. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of wanted to make a video and talk a little bit about Armored Core 6 now that I finished the game, and just kind of give like my unfiltered thoughts. I think it's fucking amazing. It's insanely good. There's like there's nothing wrong with the game, if that makes sense. And I think that that's kind of the way that I felt about Sekiro as well. Is that Sekiro isn't like my favorite From Software game, but I think it's perfect for what it is. And that's what I think Armored Core 6 is. I think, again, the biggest accomplishment of the game, I think, is PvP, right? The fact that the PvP...
They worked their asses off. They worked their asses off. FromSoft knew the audience that they were going after, that they were having to prove themselves with. They knew that they were coming off of Elden Ring, which was a masterpiece in its own way. A lot of people hated it because, you know, you had Millennia, the freaking Blade of Mikola. You had all these other ones that made it so tough. And FromSoft, they said they were not going to make this the Dark Souls of mech games, which is true. They made a mech game that had Souls-style bosses, maybe in the sense that they were very... the bosses themselves, the AI, was very adaptive. It adapted to your style. Yes, it had a certain style that it was going to do. Like, for example, the helicopter boss was only going to do a certain way. You know, they had a limitation to them. But they did make it so you did have those huge spikes of difficulty. And I'm going to reach them again. Holy crap, I've had some serious difficulty spikes. Holy Jesus. It was I was frustrated, but I went through it. I struggled through it. I think the longest that it took me to beat a boss was, I think, an hour and a half, I think, something like that. But it was fun.
PvP is just so good and so well designed.
Maybe I should try PvP at some point. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a PvP type of dude, anyways.
A 9 out of 10, probably a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10 if you're a mech fan, which Armored Core has been such a great game. It's actually turned me back into a mech fan entirely. I can't wait for the next game to come out. Like Armored Core, so I can play that one too because of how much fun I had with this game.
Based on just mech games.
Thoughts are on the game. And overall, I just had a great time.
Okay, based on that, he's pretty much done with what he's saying. But based on mech games themselves, I would definitely say that, yeah, based on mech games, this is like a 9.5 of mech games. It's one of the ones that you must play if you are a mech enthusiast. You must play if you've played Mech Warrior 4, any of the old Mech Warrior games, any Titanfall game, any of those things. You must play this game. You must at least attempt it. Whether it's on sale, whether you get it full price, whether you get the premium edition, whether you don't get the premium edition, you get whatever you're gonna get. That's cool. It's up to you. But if you are a mech fan, especially if you're an Armored Core fan, I absolutely recommend it. It brings back the old mech nostalgia for me. It really does. It hit me in the nostalgia feels. It gave me a nostalgia boner, whatever you want to call it. It gave me that feel of wanting to go back to Mech Warrior with the Draconis Combine and all them motherfuckers, the wolves and stuff, and be able to fight and do that stuff again and just, you know, do destruction, get the Kodiak maybe, be the freaking big boy in the house that no one can take down with no matter how many missiles you need, 20 of them to hit you and get you, that kind of thing. That's what I kind of want to go back and do. But yes, from what I have played so far, and I have not finished the game, so this is kind of a half-assed thing that I'm doing. From what I have played so far, I do agree with Asmongold in the sense that it is a very good mech game. Now, of course, there are things you're always going to agree and disagree, but you can disagree with what I say. Because, I mean, there are people who don't like mech games at all. People who don't like FromSoft at all. People who were expecting it to be an Elden Ring Souls-born game. People who are like, oh my god, these bosses are way too difficult. Why don't you have a difficulty slider? There are people who are going to be angry because of a no difficulty slider. Let me know in the comments down below. I know this is a pretty long video. I do appreciate you for being here. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about it. I appreciate you, as always. This is the Mad Salvi, your boy the Cam Squirrel, saying I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!